Welcome back to a Timey-Wimey Pod, where each week we dive into the timey-wimey world of Doctor Who. I'm Rebecca.
I'm Haley.
And this week we are discussing Series 5, Episode 11, The Lodger. Haley, how are you?
You know what? I'm doing okay. Today's been just one of those days, and, I'm happy that I'm here to talk about The Lodger.
Can you guys
I
tell
will say that.
Yeah, I am also happy to be here to talk about The Lodger. Can you guys tell we record these on Mondays?
The vibe on Mondays is either really great or we're both like, glad we're here. We barely made it through the day.
We barely got here. I feel like we always start like a little low, but halfway through we get into it.
We do. We do get into it. Sometimes we get into arguments and it's a fun time.
Yeah, it is. Anything we got to talk about? What's new? What's happening? Literally nothing, to be honest.
No, literally nothing. It's like crickets.
Yeah.
There's nothing. It's a desert out here.
Watch, this is something major is gonna happen between us recording and posting this, and people are gonna be like, why aren't they talking about the major thing that happened?
Oh my gosh, and then we're gonna have to like record like a new recording to put in the beginning of this, which we've had to do that in the past.
Oh yeah, what did we do that for?
I don't even remember. I could not even tell you.
Me either. Okay. Hit my mic. Are you ready for some fantastic facts?
Yes, I am.
All right. So this episode was written by Gareth Roberts. It was directed by Catherine Morshead, who did Amy's Choice, and this is her last episode. It was inspired by a comic strip that Roberts wrote back for Doctor Who magazine back in 2006. With the 10th Doctor, which would have had him stay with Mickey in Mickey's flat while Rose and the TARDIS are stuck. They're having to wait for her for a few days. And then, of course, the Doctor ends up saving the Earth by hiding it from some violent alien race that's traveling past Earth. But yeah.
Why do I kind of want that?
It is the idea of seeing 10 and Mickey just having to be stuck with each other in Mickey's apartment is so entertaining, but I think the 11th Doctor is just more fun, a more fun choice for this story.
Definitely a more fun choice. The girlies would have been fighting that entire episode, but I wish I could see it in an alternate reality, you know?
Totally. I'm with you. The original villain for this episode was going to be the Meglos. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't know. Which is a villain from a 4th Doctor story, but the villain would have been disguised as an older woman, and because they just did that in Amy's Choice, Moffat didn't want to do that again, so they scrapped the idea.
Okay. Yeah, I have no context for them. What is it?
The Meglos.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
I think it's an obscure thing, because when I was reading about it, Moffat had even said he thought it was funny to bring back such an obscure villain. So, but didn't happen. Now, fun. We get some football in this episode. Some classic British football. And fun fact about Matt Smith is he wanted to be a football player, and then he injured his back, and then because of that he started focusing on acting, which is how we got the Matt Smith we know and love today.
What a different world it would be if he didn't get that injury. Although I will be honest, this entire time until a year ago, in my mind, I thought he literally okay, football in the US is football, NFL, Super Bowl football. So whenever he would tell that story and I would watch that clip of him, that's what I thought it was. I never put 2 and 2 together until a year ago, where I was like, oh yeah, the UK calls it soccer. I mean, calls it soccer football.
There's something about picturing Matt Smith in NFL gear is frying me. That's so funny.
No, he's much more of a soccer player. Which, by the way, why Why do we use two different names for it? I mean,
I don't know.
football, I guess, makes more sense. Not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
No, hey, I'll give it to them. They got that right. They got that one right. It should be
They
called
did.
football.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Yeah. All right. The Lodger. A lot of people hate it. I feel like these are
yeah.
common. This is a commonly hated episode. I see some people appreciate it. Some people like it. What are your thoughts?
I like this episode, guys. What can I say? It's a
Mm-hmm.
filler episode. Yeah, we love a good filler episode, but I've always enjoyed it. And I know this is controversial to say, but I like James Corden in this episode, okay? I said
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, which by the way, like, I know a lot of people dislike James Corden, and I was like, why? So I
Yeah.
searched it up. Have you searched it up at all, Rebecca?
Yeah, I the most I found is like he's just kind of like rude and a dick to
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah, that's what I found as well. So that definitely is a bummer,
Yeah.
but it doesn't take me out of this episode personally.
No, we have way worse things to come is what I'll say.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like obviously being being rude to people, especially like people on your set, if that's true, horrible. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like this episode. It's we over here at Timey Wimey Pod, we appreciate a good filler episode. We
Mhm.
just do. And the comedy is really good in this episode. It's really
It
funny
is.
to see the doctor in this like wacky situation trying to live like a normal guy. The dynamic with James Corden, it's funny. It's fun to watch. I've always liked it. It's just a fun time. You know, if you like Love and Monsters but you don't like this, like I don't know what to say to you.
You know what? That you put it perfectly.
Yeah. And this is or Love and Monsters that we like.
No, low-key, this is our Love of Monsters.
Yeah. All right, should we just jump into it?
We should. Yeah, we start off this episode with the TARDIS low-key kicking Eleven out and abandoning him. I mean, not really, but kind of.
Yeah, I love how we just kind of immediately jump into things, and it is very funny to basically see the doctor get kicked out of the TARDIS.
Very funny. Poor Amy, though. Like, first she lost Rory, then she had, like, she was with Van Gogh, whatever his last name is, and however it's pronounced.
So true.
And now she's stuck in this, like, endless loop in the TARDIS. She's having a rough go, and she doesn't even realize the rough go she's had quite fully.
Not yet, no. Yeah, I did find myself wondering, like, is she just really like hanging out in that console room like the whole time? Like,
Yeah.
how much time has passed for her? What is she doing when she's not talking to the doctor? Because if she is just stuck in that console room while the TARDIS is making like those horrible sounds, I couldn't do it. She's better than me. I'd get so overstimulated and I would hate everything.
No, I would not function whatsoever. So she's better than I am. That is a really good question you pose. I don't know why in my mind I've always assumed that like it was longer for 11 on Earth dealing with this whole thing than it was for Amy with her time in the TARDIS in the loop. But I
that
could
makes
be wrong.
sense. I guess there is a theory that time in the TARDIS passes differently than like outside the TARDIS. And obviously, you know, like time travel, like, yeah, but if it's like stationed in one spot, people still think time moves differently inside, which there's evidence to help with that, but I don't know how I personally feel about it, but it doesn't really matter.
I don't know either. That would be so interesting if we ever get like any more lore drops of time in the TARDIS. But I don't know if I quite want that.
Yeah, I don't get too fancy with it.
No, don't get too fancy.
Yeah. So we meet what are they called? Craig and Sophie.
We do.
What do you think about Craig and Sophie?
I love them both. They're so cute. I love their little love story. They both like each other. Well, they both love each other, but they're too afraid to say it. I think it's really sweet. Really cute, perfect match in my eyes. Yeah, I really like them. I find like the whole comedy bits with them and 11 in this episode really funny,
Mhm.
and how 11 just kind of keeps bursting Craig's bubble. It's a good time.
I agree. They're very fun. They're very cute, and awkward. And it is very sweet how they are both just like painfully obviously in love with each
Yeah.
other, but no one wants to admit it. But it's very cute. Really like in the beginning where they're talking about how he's looking for a new roommate or whatever, and
Mhm.
she's like, "That's what you got to do, find me a perfect man." And he says, "Oh yeah, then you'd have to settle, or else you'd have to settle for me." And she says, "Well, you'd have to settle for me first." I'm like, that's like, dang. Like, you can see it immediately. Like,
Yeah.
these two like each other. They just refuse to acknowledge it, refuse to talk about it.
They're
As
too
as
scared.
they're they're too scared. Yeah, they just need a little
They don't wanna ruin the
push.
friendship.
So true. Yeah, and then he gets her keys. Oh, we get a little Van Gogh Easter egg on their fridge, which I think is fun.
Mhm. Mhm.
Odd
Very
to
fun.
see a Doctor Who Easter egg referencing an episode, like just the episode before this.
I know, very funny.
Yeah, but I love it. It's one of my favorite details of the series. I don't know why. It's just fun.
Mine too. It always makes me wonder if it was like truly intentional. I feel like it had to be truly intentional, right?
It obviously was like, and I know we've talked before, like in series 14 and 15, like the little like art department production team, like they like to put little details like
They
that in the
do.
background of things, and which I love. I love the just the heart they have for the show, and the passion
Same.
and the little details. It's all very fun.
Yeah, I love that as well. A big, plot point of this episode is I just hit my mic, is the like stain on the ceiling that keeps spreading. And Rebecca, do you know
Yeah.
what that made me think of?
What?
How you have like a mysterious stain on your ceiling.
Oh, I didn't tell you that it's just shadows. I have like it's like my heart garland, and the way the lamp hits my garland and reflects onto my ceiling.
Think I was gonna have a whole thing with this
I thought you
bit.
were gonna go into my like mold poisoning senior year of college.
Oh yeah, throwback to that.
Yeah, check your furniture for mold, kids.
Yeah, especially if you're not doing well.
Yeah. If you're getting sick like every other month, maybe like look into that. Maybe ask
Yeah.
yourself why.
Why? Okay, that's actually really funny. I thought that was going to be a whole bit. So, okay, thankfully you don't have a lodger situation, so that's good.
No. Yeah, no. But yeah, then Conrad, where am I?
This is not summer 2025. We're not watching the Summer I Turn Pretty.
I don't even know why I said Conrad for real. Jeez, this is going great. So then Craig runs out to try to give Sophie her keys, and who does he find instead?
11. And he tells
Mhm.
11, I love you. And 11's like, great. This will make it so much easier.
Perfect. I'm obsessed with him just handing him a bag of like, I think they say it's like
$3,000.
$3,000. Here, have some rent. Okay.
Yeah. No, it always cracks me up. And it cracks me up when Craig is talking to Sophie on the phone and she's like, could he be a drug dealer? Like, the thought of that is so funny. Like, can you imagine, like, an alternate reality? It's like the space Breaking Bad.
Oh my gosh. Just a drug dealer that wears a bow tie is just sending me. Like a tweed jacket and a bow tie.
And speaking of bow tie, what's with all the hate against the bow tie? Amy hates the bow tie. Sophie made a comment about the bow tie. Let the man have his bow tie.
They hating on the bow tie.
Mm. I have a future rant incoming for the finale for something else that everyone
Oh,
hates.
oh,
But it's not,
interesting. Okay.
yeah, but I can't talk about it yet because it hasn't been featured yet.
Right, 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 right. Okay. I'm can't wait to get there. I like how later on Amy is like trying to give him advice on, oh, it's that same scene. She's talking about the bow tie, and she tells them that all guys do is like play football, drink beer, and I forget what else she says. Watch football?
Watch
I don't
the
know.
watch the telly, I think.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, she nailed it.
No, she did. I love how this episode is quite literally 11 just misreading social cues the entire
Oh my
time.
gosh. The way he does the little like cheek kissing to greet every single person
Yeah.
is my favorite thing. It's so funny. And Matt Smith plays like the physical comedy really well.
Oh, so well.
I love how excited he is to have a room.
No, he is so excited, like bouncing off the walls excited. And I also love how like the immediate first thing he does when he gets into like Craig's flat before he even sees his room is making an omelet.
You gotta, which
He's
is
like,
surprising. I don't,
yeah.
when I think about the Doctor, I don't picture him cooking for people. So it's a nice touch.
I completely forgot that like when he's talking to Amy on the little Bluetooth thing in his ear, that to everyone else it sounds like he's speaking gibberish and he's talking so loud and Craig is just like
Yeah.
shaking his head talking to Sophie. It's so funny, but every time I see a little Bluetooth earpiece, I just am brought back to Rise of the Cybermen, Age of Steel, Army of Ghosts, and Doomsday.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
valid.
thank you.
Yeah, no, I love that. That is really what it feels like sometimes listening to like other conversations, and it's like, what is even happening
Mhm.
right now? What are you
No, so
even
true.
saying?
So
Um,
true.
there's one line I really hate that I feel we have to address.
Ooh, what is it?
So it's they're like sitting on the couch, and he makes some comment, James Corden is talking about how he can't see the point in London, like he never wants to leave, and the doctor says something like, oh, you must like really like your couch or something like that, and James Corden is like, oh, how can you mean? And the doctor says, you're starting to look like it.
Oh yeah, I don't like that comment either. That's a
Yeah,
little.
I just have always really hated that line. It's just like, I don't like it.
No, I don't like it either. It yeah, it's not
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. It feels out of character too.
It does. It does. It's a little mean-spirited.
It is. Yeah. Like I think the conversations they have later on with Sophie when he's, talking to her and about like the call center and all that, like
Mhm.
that makes sense for the doctor, but not
Yeah,
like the you look like your couch
commenting.
comment.
Yeah, like commenting on that. It's
Yeah.
not very nice. So, yeah. At first I thought you were going to like talk about when he's talking to Sophie and Craig on the couch and I was like, actually I really like that scene, but no.
Oh no. No, I do like that. Yeah.
Okay. I'm with you though.
Yeah. I love when Craig is like saying he can move in. He says, "You're weird and you can cook, and that's good enough for me."
And you know what? Valid.
Yeah, well, the only requirements you need, really.
And Craig mentions that very conveniently, the month prior, the guy's room who 11 is now staying in, like Mark was his name, he found out he got a bunch of money in a will from an uncle he never heard of. So he like jutted off and like we never really get resolution but over that, but I'm assuming he died upstairs.
Oh, really? Because I assumed that the doctor had set this whole thing up, that he is the reason
Oh,
Mark got all this money. Because he's always doing
that
stuff like
makes
that. Like, yeah,
that makes so much more sense. No, your
yeah.
version is the correct version.
Thank you. But yeah, because he's always doing stuff like that, like giving people winning lottery tickets when maybe a lottery doesn't even exist, a future reference, or they
Yeah.
didn't even play the lottery. I almost said join the lottery, but I was like, that's not a thing. But yeah, it's his one trick. He's
It
always gonna do
is.
this.
This, he's always gonna like break ATM machines so it's flying money. He's going to throw money in the air. Like, that's his thing.
Oh, there's later on when Craig tries to give him like the bag of rent back,
Uh
he
huh.
just throws it. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just flying everywhere. I'm like,
Like,
oh, give it to me. I'll take it.
no, $3,000. Like, that's insane. That's like an insane. Okay. Depending on where you live in the world, right now, 3 grand is not a lot for rent. Again, depending on where you are. Back then, back in the day where he was staying,
Oh yeah,
that was so much more.
yeah.
Got
I
a
feel
like
like back
button.
then. I mean, I don't know anything about like England rent prices in 2010, but I feel like that
Yeah.
could have gotten you by for at least a minute, at least like 2 months, maybe.
Especially if it's just like you're renting your room and like you're splitting the mortgage.
Yeah. Like for me now, that's lasting 1 month. Like that's not
Yeah.
lasting long. But like back then, maybe like 2 or 3 months, maybe.
I think longer than that, honestly.
Ugh. Let us know if you lived in
Let us
this.
know.
Where are they? Where does this episode take place?
They say it.
They sure do.
Did not write it down.
It's not London. We know that.
We do know that. It's not London.
Yeah. Oh, I love another bit that's funny. They're talking about like bro code, what to do if one of them is bringing a girl home. And I just love the doctor practicing how he's like, I wasn't expecting this. It's just, I don't know, very funny acting from Matt Smith here.
No, I was dying when I watched that. It's been a minute since I watched this episode, so there was a lot of laughs I had. It was just that whole interaction was really funny, especially because the doctor like did not catch on until the very last second.
Mm-hmm.
I also love like how in the beginning he tells Craig that he's less of a young professional, more of an ancient amateur.
Wait, I missed that. That is really funny.
And I'm like, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, that sums you up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got to talk about some people. Some people who are very easily, well, I won't victim blame, but
Okay,
Haley.
thank you so much.
Yeah, I knew this. I have always known this is going to be something we were going to really get into because this is who we are. What would you do if someone who you couldn't see was just like randomly speaking to you on like, let's modern it up. A Ring doorbell, let's say, saying they need help, but they refuse to elaborate on what they need help with. What are you going to do?
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stay where I'm standing, not walk any closer, and I'm gonna dial the police and say, hey, yo, you need to check this house out. I am not about to die today and get
Yeah.
tricked.
Mm-mm.
I'm
The
sorry.
only thing,
Go
sorry,
ahead.
no, you go.
I was gonna say, like, these people are so incredibly gullible. It's actually insulting. Like, why are you not thinking it through? I do have a problem with one of the women who was featured. I I don't love that that depiction is shown because I just don't feel like it was necessary. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, I had a note on her like it's the second person that gets killed, right? The
Yeah.
the woman that's walking home at night. I know. I
Yeah.
always like that one always makes me really sad and uncomfortable because it's like
Hmm.
you are showing us this like poor woman who's obviously just had like a horrible night walking home and then she's like gets killed. I'm like, why? Why?
Yeah. Why? Like, I guess maybe it was to show that like anyone was susceptible, but like even
Or
then,
like
I'm like,
people that like are trying to, because the whole point is they keep trying to get people who want to leave or whatever, but
um, yeah,
still it just, yeah, it's a
yeah.
little uncomfortable. What I was gonna say, the only situation I understand is the people that go in when they hear like the child that needs help. I feel like unfortunately that would get me because like what are you supposed to do? But I would also be calling 911 as I would be going to check up on this child. Yeah, it's and they all have the same lines. They're the person is
Yeah.
always like, "I need help," and they're like, "Help?
What?
What?
Okay. I
Huh?"
think just like, okay, so here's my issue with this, okay?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm like really cynical and actually a really bad person, but like if I was walking by a house and through a ring doorbell, I heard a kid say, I need help. I still wouldn't go in because how do I know that's not some like devious person trying to trick me into going
Mm.
somewhere like in this day and age? And even back then in 2010, like there's no way to know. Clearly, these people all died because there wasn't truly a kid who needed help. So, like, if I didn't see a kid who obviously needed help, I wouldn't go in. I would just like wait it out for the cops to arrive. If I saw the kid, though, different story, different situation.
No, I'm completely with you. I would need a little more information before, besides, I need help. Like, tell me the situation.
And I
Come
wouldn't
out
go
here.
upstairs in a creepy, creepy
Yeah.
staircase.
Oh, so creepy. Yeah. No, all these people, RIP, but
Yeah.
you should have been better. But RIP.
RIP, guys. RIP. 17
Right.
people fell for that.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's like the
Yeah.
line where he's like 17 people, blah blah blah, 6 million, blah 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 remain. It's like whoa.
Yeah. It's actually crazy. They were literally going to do it for however long it took.
Yeah, insane. Oh, I love when everything's going crazy and the doctor goes out into the stairway, you holding Craig's toothbrush like a sonic screwdriver.
Yeah, I love that. That's one of my favorite bits from this episode. It's just like so funny because he thinks it's the Sonic and it's not. And I think it's so funny that like this is the first episode I think we get of the Doctor having a shirtless moment.
Yeah, I
Wait,
think you're
the only one was
right.
in Dalek, but I don't consider
Yeah,
that one.
no, me either because reasons, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think this is it. This is the first one. He looks so cute. Well, his hair like all crazy.
I know. I was like, I forgot like how long and poofy his hair was, and I love it.
Yeah,
I miss it. I
I
mean,
know.
like it's a
Yeah,
hairstyle of its time.
it is. Yeah, it's the 11th Doctor is so like
Perfect.
2010, early 2010s coded. It's just so beautiful to me.
Yeah, very 2010 core, absolute perfection. I love it. I also love the soccer scene. I think we should just like I'm gonna call it soccer, not football, because it's what I'm used to. Because
We're
I
gonna
know
anger everyone.
we are, but I love how he just ends up being the MVP. Like everyone loves him in this game.
Yeah. He's really stealing the show. Like the one part where
Mhm.
Craig is like going to go make like the goal and the doctor just comes in and swoops it away from him. Insane.
Absolutely insane. And you see Craig getting flustered and like more and more upset. And it's just funny because I'm like, okay, if I was Craig, honestly, that's kind of a real crash out because, like, how can you as a man compare against the doctor? You can't.
Yeah. You can't. No.
You can't.
Many have tried and many have failed.
Absolutely. Mickey Smith, to name one.
Exactly who I was thinking of. Can we talk about the part where Craig says that Sophie is his mascot for the soccer game? And she's like, mascot? And I'm like, yeah, mascot. Like,
Mascot.
wouldn't you say like cheerleader? Like, mascot is like, at least here in the US, mascot is like typically like an animal or
Yeah, no,
something
it's.
that represents a team.
Yeah, typically, you're right. Typically, mascots are like you're putting on like a animal costume and a head and no one knows who you actually are. Yeah, I would be like, she's my number one fan. She's my supporter. I would never say
My
mascot.
cheerleader. Like,
Yeah,
mascot is crazy.
it's crazy. So I don't know if it's like different over there.
Yeah.
Maybe
I don't
it's
know.
not, because she was a little taken aback and a little offended.
Yeah, she's like mascot, and then they're like, "Well, I can't bring a date," and they get through the whole, "I didn't say it was a date. I didn't say,"
Like,
you know, that
yeah,
whole back and forth. But yeah, again, just them being like painfully awkward and obvious.
so
Um.
obvious.
Oh, but when the doctor clocks her for having two sets of keys to someone else's
Mm-hmm.
place, insane.
Insane.
What do
He
you
clocks it.
mean?
Clocks.
Imagine
Like,
having two sets of keys for someone else's house.
I don't even have two sets of keys for my own house.
Me either. Me either. I'm gagged. Insane.
Like, so insane. Can we also talk about how, like, after the soccer game is over, the team is like, yes, like, doctor, you got to come with us next week so we can annihilate the other team. And immediately he's like, hold up. He's like, annihilate? No violence. Do you understand me? Not while I'm around. Not today. Not ever. I'm the doctor, the oncoming storm. And you basically meant beating them in a football match, didn't you?
I love it.
Do you know what it's kind of giving?
A moment in the 50th.
Is that when that happens? I don't know why I was having a timey-wimey moment of like, yeah, that's when it happens. Thank you. I like couldn't place it. I knew the interaction. I couldn't place.
No, so
Thank you.
valid. Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. And then there's a time loop glitch on the field. It just keeps repeating. It was giving a DVD with scratches on it.
Totally. But then they all go back to their place, and the doctor, one thing about the doctor is he's gonna third wheel.
He absolutely is going to third wheel always.
Yeah.
Mickey and Rose, although that needed to be done.
Mickey was a third wheel in that situation.
He actually was. Who am I kidding? But like, you know, he was I'm gonna stop listing couples because I was gonna be like, he was the third wheel with Amy and Rory. But then when I was thinking of it, I'm like, not until literally the last episode Rory was in.
Yeah. Yeah, but still, it still works. He's still he's always third wheeling. Let's just say that.
He really is.
Yeah.
Can we chat about how 11 thinks he loses Amy for a moment into the vortex? And he's like, oh, Amy, thank heavens. I thought for a moment the TARDIS had been flown into the vortex with you forever lost inside of it.
That's crazy. Imagine hearing that.
No, and she literally was like, you have got to get me out of here. Can you imagine like the low-key PTSD from this? I don't know if I would ever fully trust the TARDIS again.
Yeah, I'd be scared. I'd be like, I'm walking out first from now on.
Yeah.
I want to get stuck. Okay, so they have the whole thing about the monkeys. Oh, and then Craig, you know, it's one thing to have a mysterious spot on your ceiling that you're not doing anything about. It's another to touch the mysterious spot on your ceiling.
Why would you do that? Maybe I'm a little too much in my anxiety, OCD life spiral. Never would I touch a stain on my ceiling.
No.
It's
so gross. I love the doctor serving him tea out of the Charles and Diana tea kettle.
Wait, I did not notice that.
How I can't believe you didn't notice that.
I can't believe I didn't notice that.
Wow.
I'm actually really offended at myself. That should have been something I noticed.
I'm truly shocked, to be honest.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, it's a Charles and Diana tea kettle. Very, very fun. Oh, there is this very sweet line. Craig is talking about, you know, he has an important work thing. Yeah. And the doctor just says, you're important, which I find very sweet, very charming.
Very sweet. I love it. I love that he tells him that. And then I also love how he holds down the fort. I think it's so funny. He goes to work for Craig, which I'm just like, why didn't he just like take out a sick day?
Craig's boss is so weird for this. Like, he just let some random man he's never met, who says he's Craig's like what, flatmate, roommate, lodger, whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, sure, just fill in for Craig today. Fill in this important meeting we have, and then call all of our important clients and sever our relationships with them, and it's all good. What? Who
Huh?
is Craig's boss?
I don't know. Maybe he showed Craig's boss that he was like, he had references from the Archbishop of Canterbury. Maybe that
Probably.
was,
There's
I don't know.
there's something weird going on here because yeah, this man needs to be fired. Like,
Is this even a true call center? Like, is there something deeper going on at this business?
so true. And this is where I start to feel really bad for Craig,
No,
actually,
me too.
because imagine just someone coming in and like literally stealing your life, encouraging the love of your life to like go work with monkeys in wherever, and then is better at your like sport than you and is better at your job than you. Yeah, this would have me crashing out.
Yeah, Craig had a very valid crash out, especially finding the makeshift TARDIS 11 had made in his room. Which I'm like, what even is that doing? I don't think that's accomplishing anything.
Oh yeah, do they even, what is that? Oh, they do explain it, but they like science gibberish explain it.
Yeah, 11 tries to tell him that the makeshift TARDIS is a modern art piece, which I find really funny, and Craig just like does not buy that, obviously.
It's a statement on modern society. So funny.
And Craig just keeps spiraling, so 11 is like, okay, fine, I'm doing this. And he bonks heads. And that's when Craig, it has like the Spider-Man meme moment. We're like, you're the doctor, and you're Amy Pond. That's Amy Pond. It's actually really funny.
Now he gets it. Now he's seeing Doctor Who. He knows what's happening.
Yeah, we get like a cool doctor flashback of all the incarnations.
I love the doctor pointing to himself, and he's like 11th. Very fun.
He's like, clock it.
Yeah. No, I love this moment. I think it's very fun. I love like, you know, we've talked in the last couple episodes how we love when like rando people get to be on the TARDIS, and this is like kind of similar. We get like a random person who we get to loop into what's going on, and that never happens. Like, we always meet all these wacky fun side characters, but they never really get to know everything that's going on, who the doctor is, who the companion is. So it's fun to have someone like fully looped in like this.
Yeah.
And doing it through like the head thinking. Very funny.
Very funny. And you all, I'm bringing her up. So I was about to say, you all do not bring up Madame de Pompadour, but I just brought her up.
Oh. Yeah, but I think even that was different. Like, yeah, she sees like some parts of his head, but like Craig, he essentially got the whole Doctor Who like downloaded in his brain.
No, he really did, which is like honestly crazy. Like, he probably has all the lore and knowledge about the Master and about he knows the tea about Rose and Donna and Martha.
Yeah, probably.
Does he know the tea about Rory?
He might. I love when like Amy's on the phone and he's like, that's Amy Bond. It's just very funny.
Yeah. No, it is so good. And she's just left on the TARDIS being like, girl, what's going on? Let this be over, please.
Yeah, girl is over it. And this is when Sophie comes over, and now because she's all into like saving the monkeys, now they want her to come upstairs.
Yeah. And the doctor and Craig hear that there's something going on. The noise is getting loud again. They jet upstairs and they find Sophie.
And they find that someone basically turned, or not turned, but the second floor, first off, doesn't exist. Not in the original plans. and that they
Yeah.
find that someone basically tried to build their own TARDIS.
Yes. So someone tried to build a time engine. They never like actually say a TARDIS. They just say a
Well,
time
I think he
engine.
does. The Doctor is like, oh, oh, maybe he doesn't, but I thought he did say that they tried to build a TARDIS, basically.
T, maybe.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay. So many moons ago,
Mm.
I was tapping away on Reddit, reading people's reactions for various episodes of Doctor Who, their reviews. And I stumbled upon this Reddit thread. This Reddit thread was from 13 years ago, so it's been a hot minute. But this is the comment I want to read to you talking about the time machine and the lodger. So it is by the user on the Gallifrey subreddit, IHSIV, saying, and there's going to be some spoilers here, but they say that I am so confused and hopefully someone can clarify. In the Lodger Series 5 and the Impossible Astronaut Series 6, the
Yeah.
same machine is present. It appears to belong to the Silence, but they are destroyed in 1969. So, what is that machine and why is it in the loft? And then someone commented on this thread. Their username is Stashing Time Agent, and they said the way I perceive it is that the machine in the Lodger was indeed belonging to the Silence. However, since the Silence were more or less eradicated in 1969, there was no one to pilot the ship for 40-ish years when the Doctor arrives in the Lodger.
I like that little like
Right?
fan headcanon. I have seen that before, but I completely forgot about it. But I do like that. It is
Mm-hmm.
funny to me that they use the same set later on. And
Oh,
I have
100%.
seen like people reacting to the show notice that and think it is supposed to be connected to the lodger and get confused. Which yeah, like no baby, that's just the BBC like reusing anything and everything.
No, exactly. Like the real, true, like truth of it, they just reuse the same set. But that has always been, ever since I've read that thread, that's always been mine kind of headcanon because I just feel
Yeah,
like
I love that.
it's a fun headcanon and it works.
It does. It totally works.
But yeah, like you were saying, they find out the tea on all of this, and then Sophie is able to like 11 sonics her hand away, so she's good. And then it starts taking 11 because it's like, you are the perfect pilot. And 11's like, no, I'm not. I will blow this solar system up. And then he was like, Sophie, Craig, you gotta confess your love to one another to save the world. And they did.
I know. Yeah, I love when Craig has to push the buttons. He says Geronimo, which the Doctor hadn't
Yes.
even said in this episode. So that mind
Mm-hmm.
hit really. I don't know what you want to call that, but I always find that a fun moment. And yeah, when he finally says it, like Sophie's why blah blah blah. And then she just says, I love you too. It's very sweet. It's like, oh, finally, you do. You're ridiculous. Like we know, but I
Yeah.
love to see it. I love to see the people get together, and I love that the Doctor
Same.
he's like been low key shipping them throughout this entire episode. Like he
Yeah.
loves love. It's very sweet.
It is really sweet. We didn't talk about the exact quote when he's on the couch with Sophie and Craig and they're like talking about Sophie's dreams, but I love that we get a little bit of 11 as a therapist, and he basically tricks Sophie into realizing what she wants. And obviously, the end of this episode, she's like, I want you, Craig. But I
Yeah.
like how he says that everybody's got dreams, Sophie, but very few are going to achieve them, so why pretend? Which then forces her to be like, excuse me. And I like that. I like that whole interaction. It's
Yeah,
nice.
me too. It is nice. And yeah, then they solve the day. The second floor
Yeah.
disappears. It was never existed to begin with.
Yeah.
I like Craig and Sophie on the couch, and they're talking about like he's like, oh, I could see the point of Paris with you, and we could go see the monkeys. And the way she says, but let's completely destroy our friendship 1st is
Mm-hmm.
very funny to me. And I always think about that line for some reason. It's fun. It's nice.
That's funny, it is. And 11 is planning on just silently slipping away.
Classic. Yeah. I love that Craig has him keep the key, and he even says like,
Yeah.
"I know you won't be back," which I don't know. Um
Mm.
he says like, "I know you won't be back, like I've been in your head, but I still want you to have it," which is very sweet.
It is so sweet and so like thoughtful, and you can tell that 11 is really touched, and I think it's really, really nice. And then 11 takes off and finally meets back up with Amy and the TARDIS, and he's like, "Girl, you gotta find a red pen, gotta write that note so you can put it in the shop so like the loop will complete itself." And do you want to chat about the scene, what happens?
I do, but first I have to talk about a line that always like bugs me. Back when
Ooh.
he's like saying bye to Sophie and Craig, he says 6 billion people in the world, that's the number to beat. So I'm every time he says that, I'm always confused by that. Like, is he
Oh.
telling them to have like over 6 billion children? Is he telling them to like beat that number like by having a baby, adding one more? Like, what does he mean by that's the number to beat? It drives me
Oh.
crazy because it kind of makes it sounds like you're implying that they should have like over 6 million children, which obviously is like physically impossible. But it's just like, what are you saying here? Do you know what I mean? Like, am I crazy for this?
No, because honestly, that line doesn't make any sense, whatever way you try to like put it. I'm like trying to think. I'm like, I can't even explain to you what that was supposed to mean.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Because it literally bugs me every time I watch it. I'm like, what what are you trying what does he mean by that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's a confusing line. You
Yeah,
were right for pointing that out.
thank you. Okay, back to Amy. Yeah, I love this moment. She finds the red ring box. I love the way the music comes in at this moment. It's very like haunting, very spooky. Well, not spooky, but you know what I mean. I really like it here. And Karen Gillan's face acting, very good here. The way she looks at it and just kind of is can't help but just like keep staring at it. The way she just feels, she doesn't even know what she feels about it, but she feels something about it. And I love that moment.
Yeah, and as soon as she opens that ring box, she just sees the crack widen up. And obviously, that, is there in place of Rory because he got erased by time via the crack. But like you said, I love how you can just tell on her face that, like, there's something there. She knows there's something there. She doesn't know necessarily, but like it's still upsetting her, still moving her, even though she doesn't know why.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this moment, and that's how the episode ends.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and the next time trailer, did you watch it?
I did. I did.
Oh,
Of course I
it's
did.
so, of course, it's so good. And we get
Yeah.
all the like little crack moments, and then we see. I can't wait to talk. I can't believe we're gonna be at the finale.
I'm like so gagged thinking about how we're literally talking about part 1 of the finale next week. Like what's going on?
I'm just so happy that I get to see River Song next week. That's all I care about.
I cannot tell you how excited I am for that, how excited I am to talk about different moments in next week's episode, the following week's episode. Oh, it's going to be so good. We'll have to wait and see. And then, of course, after that will be our Series 5 wrap up, which again is crazy. We're so close. But, Rebecca, who is the star of the show?
I'm not gonna give it to Craig because I don't want to give it to James Corden, to be honest.
Fair enough.
So I will give it to the guy that they go play football with because Craig is like, we can't call you the doctor. Everyone's gonna think that's so weird. And then the doctor introduces himself, and the guy is like, okay, the doctor. He's not bothered. Not doesn't even blink.
No, he's not bothered whatsoever.
Yeah, but who is the star of the show for you?
The star of the show for me is not a person. It's the cat.
Oh,
The doctor.
Yes, I meant to bring up the cat.
Yeah, the doctor and a good cat alliance since 2005. Or maybe from Classic Who. Who knows?
Who knows? But I had to know in here that it's nice to see the doctor get along with cats again.
It is. It's really nice. There was some
ended.
beef. His beef has ended. There was some beef there for a hot minute, but it has ended, and I'm happy.
Seeing him talk to the cat was really cute. And it's funny how the first thing that Craig brings up when he's crashing out is him talking to the cat, as if like,
yeah.
I don't know if you know anyone that has a cat, but they're just constantly talking to their cat, and it's very normal.
Or like any pet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so like right. It's not crazy. Like I have full conversations with my dogs.
Yeah, you gotta.
So you gotta. It's a part of living. But yeah, no, it's so great.
What is the heart of the episode?
The heart of the episode is figure out what you want out of life wherever you are. It's always good every once in a while to kind of reevaluate things, see where you want to go, what you want to do, and tell the people you love that you love them.
Yeah, that's mine. I was going to say ruin the friendship, as Taylor Swift once said. Just do it.
Just do it. You never know.
Do we have any reviews from the past?
Yes, we sure do. And like always, they're from IMDb. And this first review I have was written on June 11th, 2010 by the user KRASNEGAR. And they wrote that I'm still not sure about this doctor. Not a bad...
Well, you'll be sure next week.
Yeah. Not a bad episode as such things go, but I'm still not sure about this version of the Doctor. I have a problem with the Doctor not knowing at least a little about Earth, since he has the memories of all his previous incarnations.
I like that they lean into like the wacky alien aspects of the Doctor. Like,
yeah,
it's just fun.
Yeah. They continue by saying that he's just a touch too eccentric. Plain raving crackers is more the way I'd put it. That said, I did like Amy's part, small though it was. Of course, I might be screamy in the same situation. Actually, I'm fairly sure that I would be. Like the not quite the end episodes of previous series, for example, Blink and Turn Left, it did feel as if Amy's part was deliberately kept fairly small to free her up to work on the upcoming series-ending two-parter. I think they were talking about like Doctor-like, companion-like kind of vibe.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I wonder what she was filming while they were doing this.
Maybe it was one of those budget episodes where they were recording two at the same time.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, what was she filming?
Yeah. Anyways, they continue by saying that I felt as if one particular aspect of the story echoed Blink a bit. One of several resonances with past episodes that I felt, particularly with the 11th hour, though it turned out that was all in my mind. Enjoyable, but not, I think, one of the real high points of the program's history.
If you think about it, this is the half of Blink that we don't see, where it's just the Doctor and Martha living in the 1960s for like 2-3 months.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Except we didn't have to see Amy get a job in the shop to fund her and the Doctor. That so pisses me off. I'm sorry. No. Martha went through enough.
What do you're making this woman go out and work? Evil. Disgusting. Yeah. No, we the people
Foul.
have been deprived of seeing 1960s Martha and the 10th Doctor.
Yeah.
And we need to see it. Release the tapes that don't exist.
Release the tapes. Please.
Release, yes.
All right, this next review I have, this made me laugh. I'm going to read a snippet from it. But it was written on January 8th, 2019 by the user A_kind_of_sin magic. So they say that in this episode, One of the oddest bits is the Doctor conversing with a cat who he is able to understand. The idea of a cat explaining what has been going on to the Doctor is funny, but really has no place outside a pure comedy show. It was revisited in later episodes with babies and horses talking to the Doctor. Yes, it's amusing, but it isn't really what I want from Doctor Who personally. I prefer more hard sci-fi with a bit of logic rather than comedic fantasy, so the headbutt and the cat aspect are little bits I'm not so keen on.
I love when the Doctor does this personally, when he talks to
Me
horses and
too.
talks to babies and talks to cats.
Mm-hmm.
It's peak comedy to me.
No, it's peak comedy. And like, no hate to this reviewer. Everyone's entitled to their thoughts and opinions and feelings, but like, what show do you think you're watching?
Yeah.
Like, we go from an episode like Midnight to an episode like The Lodger. Like,
I mean, yeah,
I'm not
said,
Midnight. Vincent and the Doctor. Why was
I was wondering
Midnight?
why you like went for Midnight, and then I was just gonna bring up how we were talking about this off mic earlier, how only this show could go from like a deep episode that examines a historic troubled figure battling depression to The Lodger featuring James Corden.
Exactly. Only this show, and like, it's been like this since the very beginning. I mean, like, even in Classic Who, you have the triangles.
Triangles. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to get to Classic Who.
No, I'm so excited. I cannot wait to like cover that episode because we will be covering that.
Oh yes. It's gonna be fun. All right, is that all the reviews?
That is all the reviews.
Well,
crazy.
We will be back next week with the Pandorica Opens.
Yes. Yeah. I always flip the placement around so you're good. I can never remember which one's first.
I have to think about it for a second, but then I'm like, Big Bang is the last one because it happens after the Big Bang. It makes sense in my head. Yeah.
Valid.
But thank you guys so much for listening. We will be back next week with the Pandorica Opens. Until then, you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at A Timey Wimey Pod. We post snippets of our episodes, fun little stories. There's some good edits over there for you to check out. We'll have some maybe some fun things coming as we wrap up Series 5. And where can the people email us? Oh,
I just remembered what we were supposed to mention at the beginning of this podcast episode.
Oh my gosh. You're so right.
Our 2-year anniversary.
One thing about us, guys, is we are going to forget our pod anniversary. We didn't even acknowledge it last year or first year. Second year, we were going to do something. We never really had anything planned, but we were like, we'll do something.
Well, no, I think our first anniversary, I think we mentioned it in an episode. I remember mentioning it, being like a year of our podcast. But like, yeah, we were literally talking weeks ago. We're like, what are ideas of like what we could do? We both completely forgot until the day after, and we were like, oh.
Oh well.
But happy 2-year anniversary. Thank you so much if you've been listening to us the whole time, or if you've just joined, or you joined a little bit ago. We appreciate each and every one of you.
We really do. World. Yeah, it's crazy to think about that. It's been 2 years. I remember when we started this. Remember my old apartment I was living in when we started this?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, it's so crazy. But thank you for listening. Please keep listening.
Yeah.
And there's 2 years of episodes to listen to if you're not caught up. But some fun things in the backlog, in the back catalog, whatever. Yeah.
Thank you for listening. Oh, yeah. Email us at timeywarmingpod@gmail.com. Anything you want, any comments you have, any requests for special episodes or special videos on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, A Timey Wimey Pod. We will always appreciate it.
We will. And yeah, let us know your thoughts on Series 5. what are you looking forward to in Series 6? And we will see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Ta-ra.
Ta-ra.